There's Ben falling in love with Adam Chestnut on TV. But that's a nice reminder of what your husband looks like, huh?
If you think I'm bothered that I never see him anymore because he's launching a magazine, you're wrong. Maybe someday somebody will love you enough to avoid you at all costs.
Oh, it's a favorite there. Welcome back. The Connors are finally back at our screens for the 7th and final season, and that is what our next guest is here to talk us about.
Yeah, she has always made us laugh, and she's here to tell us all about finishing out the series. Please welcome Sara Gilbert.
Hi. Good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you guys?
Good, good. Thank you.
This family, this show is in its final season. What's it been like to have this moment where this is the end?
It's been surprisingly difficult emotionally. I think we're a family. There's so many people, not just the cast, but the crew who were together, whatever it was, 37, 38 years ago, that we tried to get back together. And so I always knew that when we said goodbye this time, it would feel really final. So that part of it, you know, I'm the type of person that's kind of like a banker in some ways, psychologically. I like to go punch in, punch out. So saying goodbye to everybody, even though you stay connected, has been bittersweet, I guess.
So it was emotional on the last day on the set?
It was emotional. People, you know, there was grief, but also Laurie Metcalf and I have talked a lot about this sort of denial that we can't really fully wrap our heads around it being real. And there's part of you that, because it was part of our routine for so long, feels like, oh, well, we're going to go on Monday, or we're going to go back in August, or, you know, because it's normal for us to take several months off and then come back.
Your character has been there since the beginning. There's a lot of complicated storylines. Are we going to see all of these storylines kind of come to a nice, neat bow at the end?
I mean, I wouldn't say neat, but because she's
It'll be a bow, but it won't be neat.
You know, it is the Connors after all, and I think we wanted to have. Somebody asked me if it's a happily ever after, and I said, well, it's a Connors ever after. So I won't speak to whether it's happy or sad, but I think we try to keep things real and keep things satisfying. I think it's a really satisfying ending, and I think viewers will be happy, I hope. And there's also something we do at the end that I haven't really seen that I can recall on another show, so I think that will be fun for people to see what we do.
I love that. Nice.
Your character is one of my favorite TV characters of all time because
thanks.
she's so real, but also like kind of grumpy and biting, but
yeah, like me,
but like likable.
Like me in real life.
What have you learned? What have you gotten getting to play her all this time?
Well, I think something that I've learned, and I felt this way even in the original run, even though I'm a little grumpy and biting, I am a bit of a people pleaser, and I want people to like me, or I want to say the right thing, and I think Darlene is really great about speaking her mind. So it teaches me that you can say how you feel, maybe a little more politely than she does, but people will still love you and accept you, and even people often really respond to that kind of honesty.
Authenticity always wins there.
Yeah.
So you touched on it a bit, but what are you most excited for fans to see?
I'm excited for them to see what I was speaking of, and the other thing that we did that I think is sort of interesting, because we only did 6 episodes, we tried to treat it a bit like a limited series. So there are storylines that aren't the main storyline that change episode to episode, but there is sort of one theme that goes throughout, whereas if we did 22 episodes, we couldn't be hitting it every time. So I think that's kind of nice to follow the arc of the 6.
This show is so special because the family, you know, on TV you see so many perfect families.
Yeah.
This family is like purely dysfunctional. There's something really reassuring as humans to see that. How have you connected with the audience because this is the family that you were a part of?
Well, I think, like you're saying, people often come up and say, I didn't really think other families were like mine. until we saw you guys on television. And I think what we've always tried to do as well is represent the working class, because you'll see characters on television. Now, this has gotten better over time, but you'll see characters on television who are supposed to be struggling financially in some huge penthouse in New York City, and you're like, wait a minute, how does that work? And so we genuinely like it to feel and look like it's hard to pay the water bill or whatever.
And that's why people love it. One more time for Sara Gilbert, everybody. Sara, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. And by the way, The Conners airs Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on ABC and the next day on Hulu, so check it out.